You made some waves with us yesterday saying it's your gut that Cooper will not play for the Cowboys next year. What kind of feedback are you getting on that story?
Well, first off, I want to say I didn't make waves. I think Jeffrey Kavanaugh made waves by tweeting
with his reaction.
That's what you got to do, brother. That's what you got to do. I love doing that to Brian. When you say something that people would be like, "Oh, I like to tweet it and tag you."
It was totally, yeah. I mean, I didn't have any problem with that. It opened the door, I think, to so many other questions of people going, wait, what? What are you saying? What are you reporting? First off, I wasn't reporting anything. If you want me to say something,
reporter.
If you want me to say something official, as like this is something I know and this is something I'll go ahead and say I'm reporting, I'm certain Amari Cooper's $22 million cap figure is something that they're evaluating if they want to carry that into next year. Whether that be, they trade him, they release him, they restructure him, which they have not been willing to do to this point. I don't see him carrying that exact figure into next season. And so they will evaluate what that means, I think, in terms of are they going to move on from him? Are they going to adjust some things financially? The new league year starts 4 p.m. Eastern on March 16th. And on the 5th day of the league year, $20 million on his remaining contract becomes fully guaranteed. And so there will be a question. They're going to probably make some sort of a decision, I would think, by, March 20th, thereabout. But I think that the part where I was just more speculating or projecting, I guess, not even speculating, just projecting, was I think that this ultimately ends up with the way they decide to handle that cap figures. They just decide to move on. Because I think that, the production wasn't always there this year. He's not always fully healthy. He's kind of banged up guy a lot. And so I think when you talk about salary plus, performance plus health, it equals, tough to carry that as a $22 million cap figure heading into next year. I think he would be the third highest cap figure on the roster heading into this offseason behind DeMarcus Lawrence, who's at $27 million, and then Dak, who's somewhere in the 30s. I can't remember what his exact figure is heading into this season. But I think that they like Amari Cooper, and they think well of him. I just think that, they don't know that the money is going to make sense. So that'll be an evaluation for them. I don't think they've made any sort of a determination on what they're going to do there yet. Nobody's told me that they're, he's out of here or anything like that. I just think that that's where this is ultimately heading. And
so this follow-up is obviously going to be an opinion piece as well, which I'm cool with because I think that you can handle it. If they didn't have Amari Cooper, because we'll talk about this today in a bunch of different segments, but if they don't have Amari Cooper, the wide receiver room is CeeDee Lamb sitting on a stool by himself. Do you think that would put into play a Cedric Wilson or Gallup returning, or are those guys they may be priced out too?
I mean, if you're clearing up $16 million in cap space, which is it's a $22 million figure, but if you were to, release him or trade him before the 5th day of the league year, then that would be $16 million that you would free up. You'd have $6 million of dead money. So, you'd free up $16 million there. Gallup's coming off the ACL. Cedric Wilson, as much as I think everybody likes him and sees the good year that he had, I don't know that you necessarily, you might be able, I think, to get those two for about $16 million potentially next year. Not necessarily as $16 million annually, but as a cap figure for $16 million for next year. So I think that you could retain those guys. Of course, the draft has always got people. The Cowboys went and got Michael Gallup where they did, and I think a lot of teams feel like there's always going to be guys that you can find as contributors at receiver in, the second, third, fourth round. And so, I think that would probably be the solution. You bring back one of or both, in this instance, in this hypothetical we're talking about, you bring back one or both of Gallup and Wilson, and then you go supplement somewhere around the top 100 with another one.